You failed. You fumbled the ball. You suck. You did that, bro. How many that start sneak dissing this Durk once he went to jail? They don't love you, man. They be fake. If Durk should have opened his eyes, you got his cousin and them talking, everything, guy. I ain't mad at Durk about none of that. I'm mad at Durk because he's a goofy. He failed, bro.
On December 13, 2024, we learned of fresh legal developments that could result in Lil Durk being charged with further federal offenses related to a 2022 homicide. Investigators are examining claims that Durk orchestrated a targeted act against Stephen Mack, a purported member of the Gangster Disciples, specifically from the Smash Field group.
Still pushing the same crap-out message. Shoot, I've been a Durk fan since I was, what, 14, 15 probably, for real? I listen to Durk like half my life now. When everybody was on Chief Keef and all that, I was a Chief Keef fan for sure. But Durk was my dude. Like, I got critical on Durk with, like, the older I got, damn Durk, you keep on crashing out all your homies. As a Lil Durk fan, I watched his cousin die, his manager die, his brother die, homies die, all, like, you know what I mean? All types of stuff around him, and he still pushes the same crash out message.
According to authorities, Durk offered financial rewards to individuals in return for retaliatory actions, and Mack was suspected of being involved in the 2021 tragic loss of Durk's brother Dang, who was fatally shot outside a Chicago nightclub. Because of the government inquiry, Durk's phone was intercepted and his social media profiles were tracked. Communications allegedly show behavior consistent with two individuals carrying out a retaliation plot. A payment related to Durk and his record company was mentioned in a text exchange between Anthony Montgomery Wilson and Preston Powell, who are currently under federal investigation for allegedly carrying out Stephen Mack's killing.
Lil Durk.
Lil Durk. Because I don't think Diddy knew he was intentionally doing things in his mind that was violating the law to that magnitude.
I agree.
I think Diddy had been being Diddy for so long.
Right.
Right? This was just his norm. His norm.
Right.
Right now it's like you gave your life, revenging a life, but you still didn't take life
No.
that you were supposed to revenge.
Right. You got someone who was not even involved in that situation. Who probably wasn't even there. Actually, I don't think Lil Pop was even there when that happened. Yeah, I would agree. I think that Durk is the bigger dummy right now.
One of the suspects allegedly wrote, "Durk gave you that money." Another asked, "What's up with F?" Other texts appeared to be about arranging a potential meeting for February 17th, with references to receiving payment when Durk arrived in the city. Additionally, federal documents suggest that Durk's song might have lyrical content relevant to the case in phrases like, "places where things fall." As the inquiry continues, prosecutors are reportedly building their case using bank records, digital communications, and song lyrics that might support claims of a targeted retaliation plan. We're sliding, I'm finishing it up, and the authorities are approaching. Officials are currently reviewing these lyrics to assess their relevance.
Durk wiggle out of this. Can he wiggle out of this? What do you predict happens in the future with Durk?
Only way for him to get out of this, homie, he got to tell about some more murders and be willing to testify. That's the only way. The feds don't want money. They either want information or your ass. It's the only way to bargain with the feds. Information or your ass. So, ain't no out. Ain't no out to this.
Allegations surfaced on December 13, 2024, that Lil Durk could soon face additional federal charges related to the 2022 death of accused Gangster Disciples member Stephen Mack. Significant progress has been made in the ongoing investigation, with law enforcement now suspecting Durk of being involved in planning a specific act. It has been reported that Durk was a suspect in the 2021 fatal shooting of his brother Dang outside a Chicago strip club. Following the tragedy, federal authorities examined Durk's communications in great detail and now allege that he actively financed efforts to retaliate against those believed responsible for his brother's death.
You failed. You fumbled the ball. You suck. You did that, bro. How many that start sneak dissing this Durk once he went to jail? They don't love you, man. They be fake. If Durk should have opened his eyes, you got his cousin and them talking, everything, guy. I ain't mad at Durk about none of that. I'm mad at Durk because He's a goofy. He failed, bro.
Anthony Montgomery Wilson and Preston are among individuals linked to surveillance documents containing phone calls and text messages. According to reports, Durk may have arranged retaliatory actions through intermediaries, with messages indicating payments for violence. Newly released court documents reveal that shortly after Mac's death, the suspects exchanged texts. In one exchange, the suspect allegedly wrote, "Durk gave you that money." Prosecutors interpret other messages such as "What's up with F?" and "We're waiting. He comes up here on the 17th" as relating to a planned payment meeting. Federal investigators are also looking into Durk's lyrics from the song Aha Durk Raps as possible supporting material. As the authorities close in, we're sliding, so I'm wrapping it up. They're locking down locations.
Lil Durk.
Lil Durk. Because I don't think Diddy knew he was intentionally doing things in his mind that was violating the law to that magnitude.
I agree.
I think Diddy had been being Diddy for so long.
Right.
Right? This was just his norm. His norm.
Right.
Like now it's like you gave your life, revenging a life, but you still didn't take the life
No.
that you were supposed to revenge.
Right. You got someone who was not even involved in that situation. Who probably wasn't even there. Actually, I don't think Lil Pop was even there when that happened.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that Durk is the bigger dummy right now.
Since some lyrics refer to his brother's passing and imply retaliation, officials believe they may not be purely artistic. The findings of this federal investigation could significantly affect Lil Durk's legal situation and music career. Prosecutors are working to determine whether Durk's lyrics and online interactions offer grounds to pursue conspiracy or solicitation charges. These may relate to the 2022 killing of Disciples member and alleged group associate Stephen Mack. Authorities speculate the killing could have been ordered as a response to the 2021 loss of Durk's brother Thang outside a Chicago venue. Federal sources claim Durk placed a reward on Mack, linking him to the earlier tragedy. Surveillance records show Durk was monitored through social media and intercepted messages following his brother's death. Mack, affiliated with the gangster Disciples Smash Field Group, was gunned down. Preston Powell and Anthony Montgomery Wilson were identified as the suspected shooters. Text messages referencing payments and Durk's name were exchanged, such as "Durk gave you that money." Some included timestamp messages saying, "We're waiting for him to arrive here on the 17th, which prosecutors view as coordinating a payment meeting. Others mentioned Durk's record company. Lyrics from Aha were also cited by prosecutors as possible evidence, including lines like, "They dropping locations," and "I've been finishing it. My brother Thang was recently lost. Although progress has been slow, we circled back," another line claims. At a bond hearing, Durk's attorneys cited his 2019 Atlanta case involving King Von and Alexander Witherspoon, in which Durk turned himself in and was granted bond. The defense argues the lyrics are artistic expression, but officials suggest they could reference real-life events. A $250,000 bond was set. According to officials, Durk allegedly tried to leave town before being apprehended after the killing of Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Pap. Reports say Durk was in Florida while others were arrested in Chicago, and that he booked travel for them. His lawyers say this pass shows his willingness to comply with the law. Further complicating matters, authorities detained him just an hour before a scheduled flight to Italy. He hadn't booked a private jet to Italy or international flights to Dubai or Switzerland. The weapon allegedly used in Mac's case may have inspired the 2022 killing of rapper FBG Cash. Seated in a vehicle on West 81st Street in Chicago, Cash, who had feuded with Durk's camp, was shot despite returning fire. He was fatally wounded, and lyrics in Durk's song Threats to Everybody raise questions, especially the line, "You're gonna end up by that tree." Some think it references where Cash's body was found. Other lyrics allude to associates. "Escape that trap, Jammer. I had to double check after giving him 50. The lyrics suggest Jam, a close associate, was active. He was released in 2022 after a parole decision in an attempted case. Rumors suggest tensions arose after Durk reportedly gave Jam more than $50,000, although no confirmed fallout exists. Jam was arrested again in 2023 on a weapons charge, and a woman believed to be his child's mother was killed while he was incarcerated. Speculation persists that Durk's circle may include informants. The case against Lil Durk, now tied to street conflicts and retaliatory music narratives, continues to grow. It's unclear how many more cases may arise based on new findings. Speculation over betrayals continues. Jam was accused of being an informant, a frequent claim in such situations. F-Twin, another associate, publicly accused unidentified people of cooperating with law enforcement, further stoking suspicion. But no concrete evidence has emerged tying Jam to cooperation against Durk. Octavia Redmond, a mail carrier, was tragically shot in daylight on July 19, 2024. She was allegedly connected to Jam. During her postal route, CCTV captured a masked person entering a stolen vehicle nearby. The car was later found burned out. A motive was never determined, though Cedar Rapids authorities eventually arrested a 15-year-old. After reports that Jam may have cooperated, speculation swirled that Octavia, possibly the mother of Jam's child, was targeted on Durk's order. However, conflicting reports say Octavia may have been married to someone unconnected to Jam or Durk. No official law enforcement statements have confirmed any of these rumors. Sources say Durk may also be linked to a 2021 shooting attempt on artist Quando Rondo after a Georgia nightclub event. Gunfire broke out, injuring one of Rondo's associates. Rondo's Soul Reaper song soon followed, featuring suggestive lyrics and imagery resembling Durk, but no proof of a link has surfaced, and the case remains under investigation. One major incident is the 2022 Los Angeles attack that killed Rondo's cousin, Lil Pav. Authorities think it was a calculated act. Rondo survived. The shooting is believed to be part of a broader violence-for-hire operation, and several Durk affiliates were arrested. Critics say Durk's continued involvement in these disputes risks his future. Despite fame, Durk remains tied to his origins and the political networks of Chicago streets. Supporters say he was grieving the losses of King Von, cousin Nunu, and his brother Thang. Legal analysts argue Durk might have fared better in a state case with elite legal help, but federal indictments are rarely filed without substantial evidence. His defense team was strained when authorities claimed some associates gave misleading info. Meanwhile, headlines surfaced about Durk marrying longtime partner India Royale privately. At a bond hearing, Durk reportedly blew a kiss to India and her mother, both in tears as U.S. Marshals took him into custody. The federal case has grown from scattered claims to an extensive criminal probe involving online activity, wiretaps, multiple violent incidents, and suspected informants. Originally slated for January 2025, Durk's trial was postponed due to its complexity. It's now set to begin in summer 2025. The stakes are high, with the possibility of life in prison and more charges looming. Durk's case mirrors a larger hip-hop dilemma, balancing fame with loyalty. His path from hardship to stardom brought both opportunities and intense scrutiny. For years, fans considered his lyrics reflections of real life. Now, prosecutors view them as supporting claims of retaliation and conspiracy. Once praised as a voice of the streets and drill pioneer, Durk's influence reached beyond music to fashion and mentorship. Some see his legal battle as a cautionary tale. Others see a deeper exploration of artistic persona versus lived experience. As of now, the trial date is pending. Bond has been denied. Allegations of betrayal linger, and public attention remains fixed. The outcome may redefine his legacy as either a survivor of one of hip-hop's biggest legal fights or a figure caught in a tightening legal net. If you've been following this story closely, share your thoughts on these developments. Will Durk overcome the case, or are authorities closing in for good? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications for future updates. We'll have breaking coverage and deeper insights soon.